The views expressed during this program does not necessarily represent those of really any sane person with a brain. Listening to this program may actually kill brainwaves and make you dumber than you may already be. Listener discretion is advised. Really, because this show sucks to begin with.
Why, hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
And welcome back to Bejing.
Yeah, I was at Bejing, and it looks like the Olympics are going to start. I got things all set up. And I'm looking forward to the curling. So, I'm live from Bejing right now. So if we have a little issue, but
I mentioned last week that you were an alternate in the '92 Olympic team in Albertville for ski jumping, but went back this year and are again an alternate for the two-man luge as well as the hula hoop competition. So there's a lot of good things happening. So that's I let everybody know about your Olympic prowess.
There's nothing better than being in the two-man luge. Especially
it's
if
all about the friction.
Especially if you're the bottom. So
it's all about the friction. All about the friction.
We are the Fantasy Fat Guys. I am Bill Powers.
And I am Porterhouse. Very nice to talk to you all again.
Yep. Thank you so much, Gino, for filling in last week. You helped me fall asleep last week when I had insomnia. I appreciate it.
No. Gino did a fine job, but I got to be honest. He went deeper into the gambling than I ever have. He was going so into it. He gave everybody different angles of betting. It was really pretty impressive, and he hit the San Francisco LA game because of one of the things he did. He bought like an extra point. It was pretty impressive what he did last week.
Wow. Well, wouldn't he have won anyway if he bet on the Rams anyway?
Well, no, the Rams were laying 3.5.
Okay.
But he got the Rams for 2.5, and he encouraged the audience to do the same.
Okay.
I took the 49ers for 3.5, and we both took the Chiefs, who for a half looked like we were pretty smart.
Yeah, you looked really smart. I did the same thing. I bet the money line for the Chiefs, and I had one of the $50 free bets from downloading all the new crap and stuff like that. And I'm like, woo, I'm in the money. We're gonna be great. Not that I was winning a lot of money, but I think I had like $100 down on it, and then I didn't.
Well, what happened, I mean, and everybody talks about the play at the end of the half, where Mahomes had the brain fart and Reed called in the wrong play, and I get that. The game turned to me the first drive of the second half when they came out. Chiefs got the ball first. Okay, they're up 21-10. Mm-hmm. Hill drops a pass. Kelsey can't hold on to a pass. They punt. And all of a sudden, it's like, wow, they didn't score at the end of the half. And then they didn't do anything with it the first drive of the second half, and the momentum just seemed to swing. They got a nice big pick at like the 48, couldn't do anything with it. It just seemed like they could not read the fact that Cincinnati was just dropping 8. Honestly, they should have just lined up and ran the ball. I mean, to be perfectly honest, should have just kept running the ball and taking them out of that, but they didn't do it. They'd run first down and then they'd throw second and third, and it just looked like they just were not into it. They could not figure it out. They like took the foot off the gas and were playing not to lose. Because
especially after that first half. I mean, they were every single possession. They were driving down the field, getting in the end zone, and then to come up absolutely empty, to not be able to answer in the second half is just abominable.
No, so you're watching that game, right? The Chiefs get the ball down inside the 5. They get that first down. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt in my mind they're scoring a touchdown there. I'm starting to say to myself, do you not score too soon? Then all of a sudden they get sacked back at the 27. And it's like, wow, my God, I could not believe what had happened right there. It was crazy.
Inept. They are inept. But, I guess I got to be honest with you. I'm actually kind of glad that this is the way it is. I really would love to see Joe Burrow get a Super Bowl. I mean, this is almost like a Cinderella story, Cincinnati. Never winning a playoff game in the last whatever it is it's been.
It was a 31-year drought or something like that. It was something crazy.
Yeah, and now they're on the precipice of being world champions.
The funny thing is that Cincinnati can win the Super Bowl this year, and I'm not even sure they'll be the best team in their division next year because Baltimore might still be better if Lamar Jackson is healthy.
Oh, yeah, but,
I'm just saying it's so crazy because there's that many good young teams coming up that, you look 2 weeks ago, you say, well, Buffalo's right there. Mm-hmm. You really, as much as, they blew the game last week, you really can't count out Kansas City yet. The Chargers, talent-wise, look amazing. The Bengals look unbelievable the way they've been coming back as the cardiac kids every game. Baltimore's still good. It's like, wow, there's the Colts kind of blew it. They look like they were a team on the rise going into this year.
Right.
And it's pretty amazing what the AFC is going to look like, and the NFC as well.
Here's a little problem, though. The Chiefs are going to head into the same type of territory as the Seahawks. When they didn't have to pay Mahomes, they were able to surround him with players. They were able to spend money. Now you've got $45 million of your budget into one player. Same thing happened with Russell Wilson. All of a sudden, they invested money in Russell Wilson, and they couldn't put a surrounding team around him that was good enough. And there goes the Seahawks down into the toilet. And you might see that with the Mahomes and the Chiefs now.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I mean, Denver's going to obviously go get a new quarterback. The Chargers are a team on the rise if they can ever get their lines put together.
Right.
And the Raiders showed that they can play. They got into the playoffs this year.
We'll see what happens with a new coach.
Exactly. Well, we have a lot of new coaches to talk about, and some coaches that will let go that have a lot to talk about as well. But one thing first, let's touch on that Ram 49er game.
I did not see any of the game.
So, I saw all of it, so therefore I'll talk more than you on this one.
Fantastic. In this particular case, I guess it pretty much shows that Garofalo, one of the things that they were concerned about were the turnovers, and he came through, which is fantastic. From the other end of it, I love the fact that Matt Stafford is going to the Super Bowl after all of that time in Detroit, doing absolutely nothing. That is a great. I think we got great stories on both teams heading into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the two number 9s going at each other. It's nice to see a guy leave the Lions. Like, you'd love to have seen Barry Sanders if he would have gotten a title because he deserved it.
Oh, he was unbelievable.
Has this good arm. The funny thing is, the Rams were down going into the fourth quarter by 10.
Right.
They threw an interception in the end zone and a drive they should have scored. The pass got deflected. Cup dropped a pass, which is rare.
Mm-hmm.
The other white kid, Snarek, whatever his name is, the kid out of Notre Dame, the rookie, he dropped a touchdown. It was like, my God, Higbee got hurt in the first quarter. It's like, my gosh, everything was going wrong for the Rams. Everything was like, San Francisco was finding a way. They were grinding. And you look at San Francisco and you're like, wow, if you could just cover Deebo Samuels, you'd probably win this game. Right. And they were finding a way to get him the ball, and it was working all right and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, the fourth quarter comes around. The Rams start putting things together. The defense starts dominating the O-line, and they just turn the game around. Garoppolo throws the bad interception, at the end, but he was trying to make something happen. You really can't kill him for that one. But, Jimmy G's lack of accuracy sometimes under duress is why he will not be the 49ers quarterback next year.
Right.
And they will take a step backwards with Lance until they figure out a way to have him running around and completing an occasional pass. It was very funny. I was at a dinner for the United Cerebral Palsy in Nassau County last night. Right. And there was a guy talking about, I said, the Kaepernick thing came up, and I was like, listen, it's Kaepernick, and we were talking about Flores and Kaepernick, and we'll get into Flores in a little bit. And Kaepernick came up, and he was like, well, Kaepernick was ahead of his time. I'm like, listen, he wasn't a great quarterback toward the end.
No.
He just wasn't accurate. He's like, that's because they changed the system on him. I'm like, listen, you can change the system all you want. There are a lot of running quarterbacks, but they don't make it if you can't throw a pass to your left ever.
Right.
Ever touch on a pass. So that's what's going to have to happen with Nance. I mean, Vince Young was I'm sorry, with Lance. Vince Young was like this amazing running quarterback, but because he couldn't throw the ball accurately, you don't make it. RG3, as soon as he got injured and stuff, wasn't able to come back with the same type of running. I mean, you could be a great running quarterback like a Josh Allen.
Yeah, RG3. What was RG3 in the league? At least at the top of his game, like 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, that was it. Then he got injured.
Yeah,
he played that year injured, and then that was pretty much it. I mean, so running quarterbacks are great, but they're going to have to be able to eventually beat you from the pocket. And it's not a shot at Kaepernick that he led his team to a Super Bowl, as did Trent Dilfer and other quarterbacks that weren't great. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Lance, because he's going to have to be able to complete passes in big spots.
Right.
Otherwise, you don't win games. It's just the way it works in the NFL. And it was a good game. I think that we have, a second straight home team playing in the Super Bowl. But if you didn't see the game, the crowd was at least 40% 49er fans. The 49er fans were as loud as the Ram fans.
Yeah.
Well, they don't really support the LA teams very well there. So it's not going to be like Cincinnati's playing this major road game. They'll have plenty of people coming in from the Queen City
Right.
to celebrate this.
You don't have, the Kardashians are not going to the Rams games on a regular basis, but I'm sure those sluts will be there for the Super Bowl.
But you know who won't be there? Dr. Johnny Fever from WKRP.
Can you
Howard
believe
Heston
that,
passed away.
He said, as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly, bro.
Every year for my sales team, I play that on the day before Thanksgiving break.
Uh-huh.
I play the full episode of the turkey episode.
Oh,
The turkey drop is priceless. We watch it every year. I've been playing it for 16 straight years. But but that's one of Cincinnati. That's like the only TV show ever like based in Cincinnati that I know of. And it was it was actually a pretty good show. It was about radio, which is what we do.
right.
It's just kind of funny how that works out.
I got to tell you, it was weird because when I first started in radio in 1988, I would sit there and I was like, why isn't everybody acting like Dr. Johnny Fever? How come nobody's acting like Venus Flytrap? What's with this stuff? Nobody's cool.
Nobody's cool at all. These are the nerdiest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
The radio.
Did I choose the right field? What kind of an idiot was I?
Yeah, suddenly I'm the cool guy at the place. What's going on here?
Yeah, but rest in peace, Dr. Johnny Fever.
Cincinnati's own Dr. Johnny Fever. But anyway.
Yeah. Top notch.
I think we have a good game, though. We'll get much more into it next week as we get closer to the game.
Right.
And we're not going to really cover the Pro Bowl this week. So if you were really looking for that,
we
you
should
would be out of luck. Because
we should, because when the eighth best quarterback in the NFL is going to be there, or the eighth best quarterback in the NFC is going to be there, you really should be covering it.
No doubt about it. There's certain things you never want to miss, like that.
Yeah, what is it? Kirk Cousins is replacing Aaron Rodgers for the second year in a row.
Absolutely, because everybody wants to see Kirk Cousins play a game. Now,
which is hysterical.
Oh, it's unbelievable. While we're talking about the quarterbacks, so
Right.
TB12 has retired.
Yeah,
Officially. He retired Saturday apparently, but then he didn't retire Saturday. Then he retired on like Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever it was.
Well,
so
he wanted to retire on Saturday, but he didn't actually say he was retiring on Saturday. Somebody else said he's retiring on Saturday, but he wasn't happy that somebody else said he was retiring on Saturday, so he wasn't retiring on Saturday. So we waited until Wednesday.
Yeah, and now he's retired.
Now he's retired.
So now we have a situation where the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to be looking for that quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
What are the chances another number 12 steps in named Aaron Rodgers?
You think that they're going to go down that path?
Well, I don't know if Rodgers wants to replace Brady.
Right.
Because that's always tough shoes to fill. And B, I don't know if Rodgers wants to leave Green Bay, but he threatens to every year.
Right.
And if he goes to Tampa, he knows he has the warm weather, the freedom to do whatever he wants, and the and kind of a lot of the squad that he would need. Not completely, because obviously they lost Antonio Brown, but Godwin comes back. You still have Evans. You have the Fournette. You have a great offensive line.
The question is whether
a relatively good situation. You probably don't have Gronk.
Yeah.
But when you look at Green Bay's receiving core, he's been doing it with lesser talent for a long time. So him having O.J. Howard or Cameron Brate probably doesn't hurt him.
Right.
I just don't know if he'd want to replace him, but it's just something to think about, because I think that, I think Tampa Bay has the line and has the infrastructure to kind of be pretty competitive for a couple of years, and they probably just need the quarterback to do it. And they could think about the Jimmy G way, or they could think about trying to trade for Russell Wilson or any of these other type of scenarios, or they could flat out go for the best guy available, who's Rodgers. It's just
right.
Just a thought. You never know what happens.
I don't see him. Following in the footsteps of the greatest quarterback that ever played the game. And of course, that's going to be debatable. People are going to argue and stuff like that. But
the Super Bowls give him the edge over everybody. To me, in a big spot, I always thought that Montana played better in bigger games than Brady did. But That's just me.